Hello and welcome to the Purgatorians cast interviews. In this series, you shall be able to find out more information about the cast, what other projects they are currently working on, as well as their views about the character and the show. Today we have Matthew Cranfield, who voices Demetrius Montgomory in the show. Thank you, Matthew, for joining us.
Good evening, thanks for having me. Looking forward to having a chat about the Purgatorians.
What was your initial response when you read through the synopsis of the Purgatorians and the cast of characters involved?
Initially, I was impressed by the scale of the show. It was clear right from the off that it's a very ambitious project, and the plot is incredibly interesting. I think there's something very engaging about a premise that takes ordinary people and puts them into fantastical and extreme situations. And speaking of the people, the cast involved, it's a huge cast, varied characters, and it's going to be interesting to see how their relationships develop, how alliances form and break apart.
What can you tell us of the story of the show, the themes and such?
As I mentioned before, the show is about ordinary people finding themselves in a fantastical situation. Transported out of their everyday reality and finding themselves in a time and a place and a location, a dimension that is just not their own. And through that, you've got themes of friendship and love that will blossom as a result of people being in this situation. And then you've got betrayal and tragedy, and there's some pretty dark themes as well. Child welfare issues come up quite early on, and I think it's very good at tackling topics that we encounter day to day through the news and things like that, but framed within this context of being in a completely different place and being in the unknown, but still having to deal with the sorts of things that we sadly see day to day in our normal lives.
In your opinion, why will people want to listen to the show? What would keep them coming back for the next episode?
I've mentioned countless times through the interview about ordinary people being placed in fantastical and extraordinary situations. And I just think this is something historically that people have been interested in for a really long time. It creates intrigue, there's mystery, there's adventure. It's just a setting that's perfect for creating all of those elements, which I think the show has got. And not to get too academical, but you go back and look at like the works of William Shakespeare and Midsummer Night's Dream, for example. This is fantastical situations for the mechanicals, just a group of actors, and then sort of look at the television age, the Twilight Zone, for example. Just took ordinary people and put them in crazy situations, and then more recently things like Lost. People are just into that stuff, and I think this show really taps into that and does it in a really interesting and intriguing way.
Why did you want to take part in such a large project?
I've done some voice acting work in the past, nothing substantial. I'm still relatively new to this, and this was the first project I came across in the wild, so to speak, in that I found it myself through Casting Call Club and didn't have any previous connections to anybody involved. Then when I saw the scale of the project and how engaged Paul, the creator, was, that sort of really pulled me into wanting to audition and ultimately get a part and work on the show. So I think the scale of the project and the commitment of not just Paul the creator, but that makes it sound like that's his rapper name, Paul the Creator. But not just the dedication of Paul, but the rest of the cast that's now been assembled and other creatives involved. That sort of commitment and dedication. Why wouldn't I want to be involved in a large project like that?
Please, tell the viewer something about your character you are voicing.
So I've got a small confession to make. I haven't finished reading my character's full story arc yet. And the reason for that is that I'm in the middle of moving house and have a couple of other projects outside of voice acting on the go at the moment. So now the excuses are out of the way. What I can tell you is that you wouldn't want to meet this character down a dark alleyway, but neither would you want to meet him down a brightly lit alleyway either. And he is called the Liberator, and history will tell you that people on the receiving end of liberation probably just wanted to be left alone.
What do you feel will be the hardest part of bringing your character to life?
I think one of the challenges will be bringing across just how evil this character is, but not pushing it into the realms of the absurd. And I think this is always a fine line to play with characters who are deemed to be evil. You don't want to turn it into pantomime. So yeah, that will be a challenge. And I think it's a case of just remembering that for these characters who are evil, you don't necessarily need to play them as evil, because from their point of view of the world, they're doing the right thing, and they wouldn't necessarily see themselves as evil. So there's a lot of stuff to work on, sink my teeth into. But yeah, up for the challenge.
If your character is to die in the show, how would you want this to happen?
How would I want my character to die? That is a good one. One extreme or the other. So on the furthest extreme, just engulfed in a fireball, torn apart by a group of sharks, crushed under a giant boulder, something grisly like that. But then at the other end, choking on an olive, something completely mundane. Either die wrestling a grizzly bear or choking on an olive. So Paul, I don't know if you can write either of those in, but just a suggestion.
If you could have chosen any character, male or female, who would it be and why?
So I'm going to give you a bit of a politician's answer here, because I feel like actually I've been cast as the character I would have chosen. Playing evil people is always fun. I like characters with lines that I can really sink my teeth into. I'm not particularly great at subtlety, and there's another character that I also play called Barry, and he's a nasty piece of work as well. And yeah, he's got some juicy lines. So yeah, I don't think I would have chosen anyone else, to be honest, unless it was just strings of one-liners. But other than that, yeah, I probably would have gone for the ones that I've been cast. So that's good, I suppose.
How much input do you have in the show? And does the creator of the show keep you informed about the decisions being made?
I think I might actually have answered this question in a roundabout way with my previous answers. But I feel like I have a lot of input in the show. Even during the audition process, there's a couple of back and forths, constructive back and forths, I should add. It wasn't an argument between me and Paul. And yeah, it's obvious that he's really open to feedback and collaborative working, which is something I personally really enjoy. And yes, completely informed about what's going on with the show. So yes, to all of it.
What inspired you to become a voice actor?
I think there's a couple of things that come together to inspire me to be a voice actor. I've done acting on and off for quite a number of years since my teens, and I've always enjoyed video games, cartoons, things like that. And so yeah, eventually it was just a case of realising that, you know, what I do as an actor on stage, I could combine with my voice. And a few people now have said to me that I have quite a good voice. I've since learnt that isn't necessarily the number one factor for making it in voice acting, but it certainly was a kick up the bum to make me move in this direction.
Is this your first show, or have you done other voice acting projects?
I think I mentioned in a previous answer that I'd done a couple of other things before working on the Purgatorians. I did a podcast during lockdown for a community theatre that I'm involved with, and I've also done another audio drama project. And years before that, when I was in sixth form, I did the voice of the plant in a school production of Little Shop of Horrors. So sporadic work.
In your opinion, what separates this show from others that you have done?
I haven't done a huge amount of voice acting work prior to joining the Purgatorians, so it's a little bit difficult for me to answer this question. But I think the feedback that Paul gave us throughout the auditioning process certainly separates my experience auditioning for this show to other shows that I've auditioned for, where frankly the feedback was non-existent. So thanks, Paul, for that. That was really good.
Any plans for after the show ends?
After the show ends, I just plan to keep the hustle going. Hopefully more voice acting work in more shows. And so hopefully you'll see me, well, hear me in other stuff. Fingers crossed.
Where can people find you if they're interested in your work and want to know more, or possibly hire you?
Right now, my only presence is on Casting Call Club. In the future, once things have settled down with my house move and stuff, I plan on creating my own website and getting out there on a few other hosting platforms for voice acting. But right now, if you want to follow me on Casting Call Club, you can do. I'm Matt_C_VA. So yeah, check me out if you want.
Imagine you are your character. Any final words from them to the viewers?
If you've enjoyed listening to this interview, then come along and meet me in the bar afterwards. We'll have a few drinks and then you'll be liberated.
Thank you, Matthew, for joining us, and I wish you and your character every success in both the show and your future roles.
Thank you for having me here. It's been a pleasure, and I really enjoyed answering the questions, so thanks a lot.
If you at home would like to take a look at the other projects Matthew Cranfield has worked on, is currently working on, and for any further information, please check the description of the video. If you're looking forward to the start of the show, and this has piqued your interest, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below to let us know. If you would like to support the show, Patreon members will receive 1 week ad-free and uncensored early access to all shows, amongst other benefits such as exclusive director and cast commentary videos and the ability to be credited in the description if you would like to submit your reactions and they are chosen for a montage video, as well as much more. Please feel free to look at the rewards in the tiers there. Next week we have Chaz Bowden joining us, who voices Kyle Summers, to give us their opinions on their character, the show, and other projects they have worked on. I hope you will join us. Until then, goodbye.